Welcome to the topic Approaches to Educational Technology. The term technology implies the application of science to art. Technology in education is the application of technology to any process of educational enterprises, or otherwise it is the use of technological advancement like the various equipments, materials and machines for educational purposes. Education technology is the study and ethical practice of facilitating learning and improving performance by creating, using and managing appropriate technological processes and resources. Education technology, especially computers and computer related peripherals, have grown tremendously and have permeated all areas of our lives. Teaching is changing. It is becoming a more difficult job because of increasingly numerous contradictory expectations, including the following. First, teachers are evaluated by their ability to have students pass tests that often give no value to these abilities. And we are living in an age of information overload with the expectation that students will learn high level skills such as how to access, evaluate, analyze and synthesize vast quantities of information. And also teachers are expected to teach students to solve complex problems that require knowledge necessary across many subject areas. And teachers are expected to meet the needs of all students and move them toward fulfillment of their individual potential. Technology can actually assist with some of these expectations and make teaching and learning more successful. Technology has been proved to accommodate learning styles and to be an effective motivator for students with specific learning needs. Furthermore, students working in collaborative team learning settings appear to function better when learning events are accompanied by technology use. Different people view the development and use of modern educational technology in different ways. Some consider it as the basis of a revolution in educational system aimed at improving the effectiveness and efficiency of education at different levels. Some think that it replaces the traditional teacher from the scene of teaching by use of sophisticated machines and gadgets. In reality, education technology defines teaching objectives in behavioral terms. It is that science on the basis of which various methods and techniques are developed and constructed in order to achieve predetermined teaching objectives. Education technology creates conditions by interpreting the input during the teaching process. It selects and applies the appropriate strategy for achieving the teaching objective. There are three main approaches to studying educational technology. It was A. Lemmerstein who first classified education technology into three types or approaches in the year 1964. First, hardware approach, and second, software approach and systems approach. Module 2, hardware approach of educational technology. Hardware approach originated from physical science and engineering. This approach is a byproduct of scientific and technological development of the 20th century. Hardware approach is based on concept of service. It is concerned with utilizing audiovisual aid materials like charts, models, slides, film strips, audio cassettes, audio CDs, etc. The hardware approach also makes use of sophisticated gadgets and instruments for educational purpose. The technology used including radio, television, gramophone, films, tape recorders, projectors, video players and machines that aid in teaching, computers and mass media. All the teaching mechanics used in a hardware approach makes teaching more effective in order to achieve outstanding teaching objectives. This type of educational technology adopts a product oriented approach. This means that hardware technology utilizes the products of software technology for its functioning. The products of software technology can be teaching strategies, teaching learning materials, etc. Thus, it utilizes software technology for the betterment of the process of teaching learning. With greater ease and economy, the hardware technology has the ability to hand over the educational benefits to the mass. It is thus the application of physical science in education and teaching in education, with which the teaching process is being mechanized gradually so that maximum pupils may be educated in minimum time at very low cost. Human knowledge has three aspects: preservation, transmission and development. The history of preservation of knowledge is believed to exist since the time of printing machines. At that time, the knowledge was preserved in the form of books. The knowledge was also preserved through tape recorder and films. Another aspect of human knowledge is its expansion and transmission. It is now supported by machines like radio, television, mics, etc. Education technology has brought tremendous change in this field. The correspondence courses and open universities are the gifts of hardware approach. The third and last aspect of human knowledge is its development. Provisions are made for research in this aspect. This includes collection and analysis of data. For this purpose, they use the computers and other electronic devices. So, it is clear that all the aspects of human knowledge allow the use of machines. This mechanized way of teaching process is the hardware approach of educational technology. Hardware approach in education technology helps for knowledge explosion, thus leading to an overall efficiency in the educational system. Module 3: Software approach to educational technology. Software approach is also known as behavior technology or instruction technology or teaching technology of behavior technology. Its origin is in behavior sciences and applied aspect of psychology of learning. It is a process oriented approach. In software approach, psychological principles of learning are utilized so that desirable changes may be brought about the behaviors of those learning. It utilizes the knowledge of the psychology of learning to produce learning material, teaching, learning strategies, etc. This means that it is related to or concerned with teaching objectives in behavioral terms, principles of teaching, methods of teaching, method of teaching and techniques, reinforcement of instructional system, feedback devices and evaluation. This approach is characterized by task analysis, writing objectives in behavioral terms, selection of appropriate learning strategies, reinforcement of correct responses and constant evaluation. In software approach, the psychology of learning is exploited for the production and utilization of software techniques and materials in terms of learning materials, teaching learning strategies, tools of evaluation and other devices to soften and smoothen the task of teaching and learning. This method has thus tried to develop all the three aspects of input, process and output. Here direct device to the usage is not provided. Instead, it helps in production of various software materials which are used for developing hardware appliances, which include teaching strategies, learning material, evaluation tools, teaching models, programmed instructions, etc. Software technology does not require any aid from the hardware technology for its delivery. It becomes more useful and productive when assisted by hardware technology. It does not have a mass appeal and it costlier to run than hardware approach or hardware technology. During World War II, instructional technology was used effectively. With the problems of labor shortage, this method provided a methodology for training in a systematic and efficient manner in United States. Followed by this came to the use of highly structured manuals, instruction films and standardized tests. Behavior technology is a growing field of study now. which uses technology as a means to solve educational challenges both in the classroom and in distance learning environments. The software approach or instructional approach creates an active environment in which students not only inquire but also define problems of interest to them. Such an activity would integrate the subjects of technology, social studies, mathematics, science and language, arts, with the opportunity to create student-centered activity. Multiple representations and enhanced visualization will improve their skills and concepts embedding them. The benefits of software approach includes increased accuracy and speed in data collection and graphing, real-time visualization, the ability to collect and analyze large volumes of data, and collaboration of data collection and interpretation, and more varied presentation of results. Traditional teacher-centered approach in the classroom has been shifted from teaching to learning. It is called student-centered or resource-based approach, the student being the resource. Learning through hearing alone proves to be the least effective means of learning. Technology is a sum total of teaching, instruction, education, learning and engineering, which helps to shape the personality of the learner in a meaningful context. While hardware approach means the use of machines in teaching, the software approach means the use of teaching and learning principles. Objectives of software technology or instructional technology include to determine the goals and formulate the objectives in the behavioral terms, to analyze the characteristics of learner, to organize the content in logical or psychological sequence, to media between content and resource of presentation, to evaluate the learner's performance in terms of achieving educational objectives, to provide the feedback among other components for the modification of learners. Module 4, Systems Approach to Educational Technology. Systems approach is also known as management technology. A system is a set or arrangement of things so related or connected as to form a unity or organic whole. These components, parts or elements of the system are intimately linked with one another, either directly or indirectly, and any change in one or more elements may affect the overall performance of the system. Thus, it is a regular orderly way of doing things. So, systems approach is a set of things working together as a mechanism or interconnecting network. Developed after World War II, the systems approach has provided a scientific basis to the decision making regarding the problems associated with administration, management, commerce, industry and army. System approach is a systematic way of designing, implementation and evaluation of a process in terms of its desired objectives. System approach involves accurate identification of the requirement of problem. It is the setting of objectives after identifying their needs in performance oriented terms. It is the application of logic and analysis of techniques to the problems. It is the development of methods for the solution of the problems and rigorous measurement of the product against specific performance objectives. It helps in development of educational administration and formulation of instructional outline. Educational administration and management can be made effective and less costly by using in educational system. Schools are viewed globally as social systems. Instruction and teaching are considered as subsystems of that system. Classroom, faculty, student groups, informal groups, etc. are other subsystems within. Education is considered a complex organization of technical, managerial and institutional systems. This instructional system has three parts: the instructor, the learner and the goals of instruction. The system approach to education thus considers education as an input-output system. Systems approach to education emphasizes identifying and stating the goals to be achieved, and identifying the processes, methods, techniques and strategies that may be most relevant to achieving the predetermined goals. And thirdly, building up theoretical foundation justifying the relevance of these processes to achieving the goals. Determining specific interactions visualized existing among various other components of inputs. Specifying the various kinds of controls needed in the total system of different points. Keeping the whole in mind all the time while preparing the model or the system. The system's approach to course and curriculum design is no more than an attempt to use a process of logical development and ongoing monitoring and evaluation in order to allow continuous evaluation of the course or curriculum to take place. In implementing the systems approach, it is important to appreciate that while the decisions taken at each stage are always affected by earlier decisions, they may themselves necessitate some of these earlier decisions being changed. It is also important to realize that the stages shown are not the only ones possible, and that once taken, a decision can always be reconsidered. The approach should thus be dynamic and iterative, always allowing for second thoughts and the refinement of ideas. For example, although you should certainly make a first attempt to define objectives and learning outcomes very early in the planning, you will invariably need to come back to redefine or add to them once you have worked through some of these later steps. The systems approach can be used at any time when an episode of teaching learning of any length is being planned. It can be applied to long-term planning for a whole course lasting weeks, months or years, through the daily lessons planning, or even to on the spot planning for a learning experience of only a few seconds duration. It can be applied by a group of teachers designing or adapting a complete course, as well as by an individual teacher preparing or his or her specific course input. The approach can also be used for analyzing a previous teaching or learning experience. The systems approach does not prescribe or promote any particular teaching methodology, for example, individualized study or group learning. Rather, it is a vehicle that helps teachers to think more systematically and logically about the objectives relevant to their students and the means of achieving and assessing these. On occasion, analysis may suggest that chalk and talk may be the most appropriate method for achieving some objectives, but no one method will be appropriate for all objectives or for all students. There are various stages in systems approach. They are the following. First, considering target population, characteristics and topic area. The range of backgrounds, interests, knowledge, attitudes and skills of students coming to take up the course will have a strong influence on course design. Pre-knowledge and any common misconceptions will have to be catered for in the design of the course. Consideration should be given to the sort of people with whom the course has been developed. The subject area may have traditional aims and directions but there should be a provision for future change. And secondly, estimation of relevant existing skills and knowledge of learners. There should be minimum standard of entry to the course. They should possess skills and qualities which will have an influence on course design. Thirdly, formulation of objectives or learning outcomes. The objectives and learning outcomes of the course or curriculum element will attempt to encapsulate the new skills, knowledge or attitudes which it is intended that the students will acquire. They may be formulated by the learners themselves, by employers, by teaching staff, examining or professional body, or by some combination of these and other sources. Selecting appropriate instructional methods. The process of attempting to match appropriate methods to given objectives and learning outcome is normally done on the basis of a combination of research and experience. The strengths and weakness of different methods should be well known. Operation of course or curriculum. The next element in the system is the actual implementation of the course. This involves all the logical arrangements associated with running the course, including overall structuring, pacing, implementing the chosen teaching strategies, using appropriate supportive media and materials, and ensuring that all aspects of the course run as smoothly as possible. Assessing and evaluating. The combined result of the preceding stages in that students are involved in a learning experience that is planned to develop their knowledge, skills and attitudes, taking into account the individual needs and experience of the learners. Just how effective the pre-planning and subsequent operation has been can be measured by studying student performance in continuing and post-course assessments. These assessments should be closely related to the specified course objectives and learning outcomes. Poorly achieved objectives or learning outcomes should lead the course designers to examine the entire system in order to identify places where improvements might be made. This might finally lead to making a change in objective, revising the assessment of students' pre-knowledge and thorough examination of the course structure and organization. Let us summarize what we have discussed so far. The chapter focuses on three-tier approach of education technology. The three approaches were first suggested by A. Lemmerstein in the year 1964. The three categories of education technology are software approach, hardware approach and systems approach. Hardware approach is the application of physical science in education and teaching in education, with which the teaching process is being mechanized gradually so that maximum pupils may be educated in minimum time at very low cost. Software approach use psychological principles and learning theories in education. In software approach, the psychology of learning is exploited for the production and utilization of software techniques and materials in terms of learning materials, teaching learning strategies, tools of evaluation and other devices to soften the task of teaching and learning. Systems approach involves accurate identification of the requirement of the problem. System approach is the setting of objectives after identifying their needs in performance oriented terms. Educational administration and management can be made more effective and less costly by using in educational system. The systems approach to the design and analysis of teaching or learning situations is the basis of the great majority of modern educational technology related developments.